What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Villain Show. I'm your host, Valen, and today we'll be taking a deep dive on Chelsea related news that's happened in the past few hours. So, the biggest one right now is the news that just dropped by Fabrizio Romano saying that Enzo Maresca has been appointed as Chelsea's head coach, not manager, for a figure of 5 years with an option to for one, which is a mad thing. Chelsea Football Club has never appointed managers that long besides Graham Potter, and that was a Bowley signing. So you can say this the naivety of Todd Bowley for appointing Graham Potter that long of a duration. But no, Enzo Maresca was picked by the sporting directors and they decided to give him such a duration for his contract. Of course, I do understand that there will be break clauses in the contract whereby Chelsea can sack him and not pay the full amount of money. But nonetheless, the duration alone is crazy. It shows that the sporting directors and the ownership are gonna back Maresca for at least 2 years guaranteed because guys like him needs at least 2 seasons to develop and understand the squad, who he needs, who he doesn't want in the squad, what they can do to improve the squad more, like Mikel Arteta, for example. So look, the owners like to have scouts like Brighton. They like to have a manager like Arsenal. Hopefully, they produce something which is a success of a Real Madrid, a Bayern Munich. I mean, look, this is a sporting director's second appointment. You failed in Pochettino, and now you're appointing Enzo Maresca. I mean, look, for me, my first thought when I saw this appointment was disappointment. I'm not gonna lie, because Roberto De Zerbi was my go-to guy. I thought he was perfect. He was perfect for the Chelsea job. I don't know what happened. Potentially, you could argue and say that it was because of De Zerbi wanting a bit more power, a bit more influence, and that's why the club said no. But on the other hand, it could also be that Chelsea owners and sporting directors already knew that they wanted Enzo Maresca from the start. Because look, you're not going to sack Pochettino or mutually part ways with the manager if you already didn't know who you wanted. Or, but knowing this board and knowing these directors, it's not very easy to trust them and understand that they are actually thinking 3 steps ahead of us. Perhaps it could have just been Kieran McKenna turned us down because Manchester United potentially having interest, sweet talking Kieran saying that why don't you give yourself an opportunity at Ipswich or wait first because Ten Hag is gonna go soon. And that's what happened. Kieran McKenna probably rejected us first before the ownership had any opportunity. And they come out saying that, oh, we rejected Kieran McKenna, which I don't think that's the case. Roberto De Zerbi is still very quiet in terms of Fabrizio, in terms of Ornstein. Both have not mentioned anything about him yet. But Fabrizio dropped the news saying that he's a done deal, 5 plus 1 year deal, which is crazy in my opinion. And I mean, Ornstein has not mentioned anything. Matt Law has not mentioned anything. We just have to see because I'm pretty certain by June the 1st we will know who the next manager is. Whether it's Maresca or not is most likely looking like him. I mean, by all means, we can only just back him in it. Let's say again, the caliber of manager that they are going for again is not really something that excites fans. I don't blame them, especially the match going fans. They will not have a clue who he is. They'll just be like, why is this bald fraud here? I mean, look, after doing deep dives on Maresca, watching videos about him, listening to other YouTubers like Miss, like Matisse, like Lewis's channels, even Rants, I kind of understood that this guy can coach. He's a good coach. He can improve players. He doesn't really want to say in the boardroom or transfers. He just wants to give the profiles of players and let the sporting directors source it out. Which is, I mean, that's how football is progressing nowadays. I don't really have any issues with that. But the thing is, I wonder why Roberto De Zerbi was turned down. And there was nothing, because I'm pretty certain De Zerbi would also be mentioning a profile of player like Maresca and not saying that he wants this player specifically. I don't think De Zerbi is that type of manager. I think he's the type of guy that wants a quality in terms of a player. Like for example, when he was at Sassuolo, he desperately wanted a winger that can take on his man. And that's how they ended up with Jeremy Boga. I mean, look, with all things aside, I don't know why, because nothing has come out about why Chelsea rejected De Zerbi, or if Chelsea was in. Because if Chelsea was out of the De Zerbi race, there would already been mentioned earlier that Chelsea and De Zerbi are not even talking at all. So it is what it is. Disappointment, yes, especially knowing now that Manchester United have a free run at Roberto De Zerbi, kind of annoys me as well, because look, Manchester United are in a rebuild themselves, having a top manager who has Premier League experience, who knows how to play a certain style of football, which Pep Guardiola and a lot of up and coming footballing coaches look at for inspiration. I think Roberto De Zerbi will do wonders at Manchester United and take them back up to the top. Personally, that's my thing. He got the characteristic, the ambition, the fire, and the drive to go right to the top. Maresca, on the other hand, I don't know. Look, for me, what is it? It is what it is. I'm going to support him because look, it isn't Enzo Maresca's fault for being appointed Chelsea manager or Chelsea's head coach. It is down to the two doofuses on top, Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart. If anything happens, if Maresca gets hammered 6-0, 4-0, 5-0, if we finish 9, 10, 11, God forbid, I'm not going to blame you on Maresca. I'm going to blame you on the two doofuses on top. You appointed him, look, by giving a 5 to 6 year deal, it shows that either you guys think that you have uncovered the next Pep Guardiola, or you guys are extremely deluded. That's it. Because you had no issues appointing Pochettino on a 2+1 year deal. Then suddenly you change your tune and you appoint Maresca on a 5+1 deal. I mean, look, you better be banking that this guy is a diamond hidden in the rust. Because if he isn't, the match-going fans are going to turn. The ownership are going to look at you guys for messing up the second appointment of your careers and say, what are you guys doing? 5+1 year deal? Seriously? That long? But look, for me, I'm not going to blame Maresca. He's up and coming. He's a new coach. He just had one season at the championship and he won it with Leicester City. Barely, but he still won it at the end of the day. Yes, 11 losses, I know. But then again, these are fans that are crying, saying that he had 11 losses are the same fans making fun of Roberto De Zerbi's 7 in 31. I don't know. Look, Maresca is for me. He just comes in and be the head coach the players. I'll give you an opportunity. I'll let you build your squad in 2 years' time because look, it took Arteta 2 years to finally settle down and understand what he wanted and implemented his philosophy into the Arsenal squad. I think it's only fair for us to give Enzo Maresca time, at least 2 years, to settle down, think what he wants, implement his philosophy into the team. If we sack him inside the first year, I think this whole project process is just a scam. It's a pyramid scam. I don't think Enzo Maresca is gonna do wonders in the season. Of course, I mean, look, the board will probably be telling him top 4 is a goal, but I think they will also be very patient with him. I mean, look, if you're getting a 5+1 year deal, it kind of signifies that you're gonna be patient with this guy for at least 2 to 3 years. So I think that's what's gonna happen. Chelsea fans might not like it. Look, I am not as opposed to the appointment of Maresca as compared to when Pochettino first came. Because Maresca plays a similar style of football that suits the squad. He knows he's probably going to get the best out of Enzo Fernandez. He's probably going to get the best out of attackers, your Nkunkus, your Cole Palmers. We're going to see Lavia back. We might see Reece James finally inverting in and not constantly getting injured with his marauding runs forward and back. Levi Colwill might be given a second lease at life because of this possession play, tiki-taka passing. Colwill will be the guy that pings the ball. We don't know. I think Colwill will have a good season. Caicedo as well. Defensively sound, can help out with the build-up, can go forward as well. And Jackson as well. So, yeah, that's my opinion. I think, Look, I'm going to give Enzo Maresca time. I'm going to support him all the way. And this time, I'm just going to blindly support him. Anything we lose, anything we draw, whatever happens, I'm not blaming on him for at least 2 years. Because in your third year, I expect you to be challenging for top four. Minimally, not even top four, challenging for the title. That's what happened to Arteta. 2 seasons finishing eighth, I think 1 season fifth, and then finally he started challenging. For me, I give you 2 years because of the squad that we already have. I think 1 year's out because the experience they already have in the league. This squad is good enough to challenge and get top four, as we have seen this season, with thanks to Pochettino's not being tactically setting up a structure for the club. For the team, we kind of bottled 6 points, and if we had gotten that 6 points, we would definitely be in Champions League. Now we are in the Conference League, for God's sake, and we don't even know if we are going to participate in that or we're going to participate in the Europa League now because of United and Nice. Personally, if they give us the opportunity to go Conference League, the Europa League, I'll be guessed. I say yes, finally we get opportunity to go. It's a good European competition, but at the same time, it's just like, whatever, man. It is what it is. I don't really expect United and Nice to have much issues. I think they'll just play in the same competition. I don't think United will be kicked out of it, if anything. I think they'll just keep United in. If anything, I see Nice dropping out of it. Yeah, it is what it is. So now Enzo Maresca's coming in. Oh yeah, one more thing I like add. When you see the appointment of a 5+1 year deal, it kind of signifies that our sporting directors are also here to stay the long term. Because they are gonna be his direct bosses. So if they themselves are giving him such a long contract, I'm pretty certain that they themselves are expecting both Winstanley and Stewart to be staying in until at least 2030, or just in time for the owners to finally be able to sell the club. That's what my opinion is. So yeah. So moving on to Enzo Maresca's deal, we all know Pep's disciple can play tiki-taka football, possession base. I think Enzo's gonna start in the pivot, the number 6 role, and then he's gonna have a lot of touches. He's gonna be able to build up from the back. I think Caicedo will be the box-to-box midfielder. The last midfielder position, I am not sure. He might play Palmer there. He might play Lavia there. He might even play Nkunku there. This is down to the fact that I don't know if he's gonna stick to his 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. I think he's gonna stick 4-3-3. He's gonna play Kukurea left back, Colwill, Fofana if fit, or if not a new centre back, Reece James right back, Gusto, the new goalkeeper that he wants, Enzo in the pivot, in the number 6, Caicedo on the right, one of Palmer and Kunku or Lavia on the left. Then the wingers, we don't know. He might play Noni there, he might play Nkunku on the left wing, he might play Mudryk there. Personally, I don't know. But striker, I'm pretty certain he's going to play Jackson, because looking and understanding what he wants in a striker, I think Jackson kind of suits that role. Drops deep, strong, good at build up, help support the play, bring teammates into the play. He's not that type of guy that sticks in the goal box a lot and just wait for the cross or the pass to come in for him to finish. So yeah, that's my opinion on Enzo Maresca right now. So now moving on, let's have a look at the news. Recent news coming out from Chelsea Dodgers. Oh, okay. Here it is. So the guys joining Enzo Maresca will be the following: Willy Caballero, Big Willy is coming back. We all love him. Danny Walker, a guy that I personally seen only through Football Manager. Michel De Bernardin, Marco Alvarez, and Javier Molina Caballero. I say, welcome to Chelsea. Hopefully you guys get a better tune out of the players in the squad compared to Pochettino. And please don't injure them. Okay. So yeah. Alright. So Conor Gallagher again a target for Spurs and Aston Villa. Chelsea released an offers for a number of homegrown players, which is kind of what you expect. Pure profit in it. So Trevor Chalobah, Conor Gallagher, Madsen, Broya, they're all going to be pure profit. Let's say You get 20 million for Broya, 30 million for Madsen, 25 for Chalobah, which is about really, and what, 35 million for Gallagher. You get 100 million in pure profit already. Not really fast about it, just that I feel very disappointed losing both Madsen and Trev. Okay, so what else is there to talk about? Oh yeah, okay. The news coming out right now. Chelsea have made an inquiry for 22-year-old Danish midfielder, a Danish goalkeeper, Philip Jorgensen. I don't really know much about him. The only time I knew about him was through FC24, where I was looking for goalkeepers. He's young, he suits the bill. Statistically, he kind of fits what they want to play, a goalkeeper that can play from the back, play out from the back. I think him or Alvaro Valles from Las Palmas are pretty okay options to take a look at. For me, a goalkeeper is not really. It is an important issue, especially when you have Robert Sanchez as a backup. I think we need to get rid of him. But that's kind of the redundant signing, if you ask me. 25 million for him in a 7-year deal. I don't think Robert Sanchez is gonna stay. He's gonna be one of the casualties leaving the club as well. Philip Jorgensen, we all have done a deal with Villarreal last season for Nicholas Jackson. If he were to come, he already have somebody he knows. Obviously, the Danish connection with Andreas Christensen in the past, you ring him up and ask him what's Chelsea like. Is there anything that he could take note of? I don't know. I mean, look, Enzo Maresca wants a goalkeeper can play out from the back, a sweeper keeper. I think he fits the mold to a certain extent. He's young, so this report is kind of believable as well. Hmm. Okay. Now let's see what our good friend Mr. Jurgen Klopp has been saying about us. We should be really happy that these owners and not the guys bought London clubs and other stuff. So also, look, Jurgen Klopp is still taking shots at Chelsea and Bowley and Clearlake. I mean, fine, he's still salty for what happened with Caicedo and Lavia. Don't really blame him. He's, I mean, look, if anything, it tells me that he's afraid of what Chelsea is going to happen. He could see something happening and us becoming the guys, the team that we know we are good at becoming. But look, if anything, he just shows that he's still salty about the whole incident. I mean, whatever it is, what it is, Klopp. If you wanna cry, cry me a river. So that's it for Chelsea Dodgers. Let's go with PYS and see if there's anything new. Jorgensen, 40 million release clause. Chelsea will probably pay it and not speak much. So yeah. What else is there? Okay. 5 players Chelsea are looking to bring in, and I assume they're not going to spend like 250 million. They're going to look in and be smart about it. So, goalkeeper, maybe it looks like Philip Jorgensen is one name that comes out already. You might be seeing Alvaro Valles from Las Palmas. I don't know because Chelsea likes stats, and he's a guy that's kind of excelled in terms of statistically wise. Centre back, I mean, Tosin, the guy is a free transfer. Chelsea saves on money about it. English fits the homegrown quota. Ex Manchester City academy player. Can play out from the back, I think. So yeah, not so bad. But I mean, when you're losing somebody like Trevor Chalobah and you're replacing it with Tosin, I don't think there's much of a difference. So I mean, look, if we get him some good deputy, I don't think he's gonna start ahead for Fana. Striker, like I said, I think Chelsea are going to try to be smart this summer instead of going big for Osimhen. And let's not forget, Osimhen just picked up an injury and is out for a month. So by the time he's coming back, he's going to come back at the end of June. So yeah, end of June. I mean, that's when preseason already have started. Just started. I mean, I don't think we want to spend so much money as well, knowing that we are not sure which European competition we will be playing in Conference League or Europa League. Personally, I think it's going to be Conference League. I think this news about Man United potentially losing out of Europa League is just scaremongering. So in terms of the striker, I think unfortunately I think they're going for Benjamin Sesko. Personally, I don't think he's good enough to be the type of striker that Enzo Maresca wants because I watched him through obviously your compilations and your highlights from Leipzig. I mean, he ended the season pretty strong, but I don't think he necessarily has the qualities of what Enzo Maresca wants. Enzo Maresca wants a guy that can drop in deep, hold up the play, bring in teammates, and then distribute out to the wingers, to the central midfielders, and then he goes. Shesko so far, what I've seen at Leipzig is he's a guy, he's more of a poacher, he's in the box. He's just coming in, you feed him the ball, he scores, that kind of thing. And it's only until the end of season where he really picked up form. When it was the start of the season, midway through the season, he wasn't lighting the world alight. He was just average. And now moving on to your winger news. Look, when we were linked to Zerbi and Olise, I thought we would get both of them. But now that we look likely that we are missing out on Roberto Di Zerbi, which pains me to say it, I think we are not getting Michael Olise as well. I think Chelsea are gonna look for a left winger maybe, because I think Madueke and Palmer will be playing on the right. Personally, I think Madueke should move on, but it is what it is. So the left winger who I think Chelsea might be looking at is Leeds United's Crescencio Somerville. Yeah, he's a decent player, especially now that Leeds are staying in the Championship one more season. I'm pretty certain that he's gonna leave. And I think 30 million. He has a 30 million release clause, or they demand a fee of 30 million for Somerville. I think it's a smart buy, especially when Mudryk is the main guy that Chelsea sees fitting into the left winger role. I think Somerville is okay to rotate with him, and the wages are not gonna be so much, especially when Raheem Sterling is there and Chelsea trying to get rid of him. I think that's all for now. So yeah, what else is there? Anything new? Nah, nothing much. There doesn't seem anything new, any new news for today. So yeah, watching it, seeing how Somerville, Jorgensen. I mean, okay, Chelsea needs to be smart in this transfer window, but more importantly, the directors have to make sure that this works. They cannot mess this up one more time. Because look, you definitely need Champions League football, which the squad alone should be good enough to get you that. I think they are. Hands down, they definitely are, because with Pochettino, a guy who had no system, they managed to get 6 points or 4 points off of top four. And let's not forget, we have teams like Liverpool rebuilding, Manchester United rebuilding. So the main competitors, if you ask me, will be Aston Villa. Whether they can maintain the Champions League run, I don't know. I don't think they can. So they might drop out. Newcastle, they have no European football. They're definitely going to push for a Champions League spot, 100%. If not, Eddie Howe will get sacked. So that will be last with Spurs. Of course, Europa League football, Thursday night, they might struggle in terms of fitness. So we all know what happens. Thursday, Sunday's games are not going to be fun for them. And Postecoglou needs to do a lot of magic with that. He needs to find players that can suit his system, the style of play, which maybe Conor Gallagher goes there. I don't know. And now recently they just announced that Timo Werner will be extending his loan there. So I mean, whatever it is, man. And then what else is there? Obviously, Arsenal and City will still be challenging for the top two spots. So third and fourth is kind of an open race right now between Chelsea, United, Villa, Newcastle, Spurs, and Liverpool. So there are 6 teams vying for the second spot. So it's gonna be difficult. Chelsea just have to make sure the games that they should be winning, they win it. The challenging games like your top 6 matches, if you can draw a game, even if you lose one, just make sure that you beat the lower half teams. Like remember, if we had beaten Burnley and Sheffield United, we would be talking about Champions League football right now, and maybe Pochettino will be staying here, which thank God he isn't, because he would have run these players down to the ground and destroyed their careers early. So yeah, that's what happens right now. One more for me, Enzo Maresca, I was, if I'm being honest, I am kind of skeptical about him, because look, 1 year in the championship, yes, you did win the title, but you nearly bottled it as well with your losses, you know. I mean, look, it is what it is. You're coming up to the Premier League, a different animal altogether. You're coming to a club that is in disarray in Chelsea. You need to have some sort of arrogance, some sort of confidence in your ability, and know that you are good enough to take this club up. I watched certain highlights of his press conference. He does give me that inkling of a Pep Guardiola. You can tell that he's from Pep Guardiola's school with the way he sounds and the way he speaks. He has the arrogance in him, which most Italian managers do, but he also looks like he's a bit more on the calmer side of things. So yeah, I mean, I just hope that he's able to get the players on board his style of play because look, majority of these players they rated Pochettino. They're upset that he left. They already told and I'm pretty certain they made things known to Boli, Ekbali, Winstanley Stewart that they wanted Pochettino to stay. But now that he's gone and they brought in someone with 1 year of Premier League experience and not really anything else that he can fall under in like his CV. Other than that, he worked with Pep. That's the only thing he has. So I don't know if the players are just gonna be happy about this because look, they were sold a dream about this project. And if they're looking at somebody like Maresca and saying like, huh, what do you mean you're appointing somebody like him when Pochettino was already recognized in the footballing industry as one of the more experienced and better managers out there? For me, I looked at it and I'm just like, okay, that is Maresca's job to try to win the players over. And I'm certain most of them will be professional enough to continue on. Like your Cole Palmers and Lavias will definitely put a word in for the squad. And yeah, I say, look, Enzo Maresca, I'm going to support you. I was disappointed at the appointment, but it's not your fault. It will come in as the sporting director. You have my full backing as a Chelsea fan. I'll be there cheering the squad. I'll be watching. I'll be very excited because look, I love Maurizio Sarri. And when he was kicked out of Chelsea because of the fans, the match going fans that are constantly booing him, I was annoyed because I knew second season that's when his philosophy, that's when his style of play clicks. And Maresca, if you're watching, if any of your staff happen to be watching this, look, I'm gonna give you time. I'm gonna wait. I know first season is gonna be it's gonna be topsy turvy. We're gonna have a few good wins and we're gonna have a few bad results, like maybe 3 or 4 nil losses to like your Aston Villas or Wolves. Those pragmatic managers, I think we might struggle against them. Look, I don't blame him. Look, we can finish 7, we can finish 8, we can finish 9, 10. I don't care. I'm giving him the time. If anything, it's going to go down to the sporting directors. If anything, I'm going to give you 2 seasons to build. And after you have built them, then the third season, I will judge you. Because look, I'm not giving you 3 seasons like Arteta before you finally build the squad. Because one of the seasons is used to give the new squad ready before you even came in. The experience needed playing Premier League football with Pochettino done. So now these 2 more seasons is get your philosophy across, decide how you want to play, and implement that style of play. That's it. And it'll be just nice because Pep Guardiola will be leaving the club. So it'll be down to you versus Mikel Arteta. And personally, I want you to beat Arteta because look, you have experienced Manchester City winning the treble with Pep. Arteta hasn't. He left before Manchester City won the treble. So look, you have more experience and you know the level of standards, the success needed to achieve and be there. I hope that you have. I'm the only thing I'm banking on right now is that you know how to win through Pep Guardiola. You understand the standards and the levels needed to go to that level, to go to that high of a level. I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna back you. Let's rock and roll. Let's write stories together. Let's make happy memories. And hopefully we end up with the silver. One last thing, if we do end up in the Conference League, we have to win it. No if, no but. That's the only expectation I have from you this coming season. Win the Conference League. That's the only thing I expect from you. If you are competing in Conference League, you have to win it. No questions asked. Take the competition seriously. Give the players a platform for them to finally understand what it means to win a trophy. Some of them have already won trophy before, but some haven't. So go there. If we have to play in Conference League, play and take it seriously. Look, teams like Legia Warsaw, Besiktas, Betis or Sociedad, or even like what is Heidenheim. Don't underestimate these kind of teams, especially when you're going away to them. The fans are up for it. They're gonna be loud. They're gonna be noisy. They're gonna be rowdy. So do not take them for lightly. Go in there and win the game and win it convincingly, and then you can go on and build from there. Win the Europa Conference League trophy first, regardless of whether or not we are playing in it. It's a different story. I won the trophy. That's your first opportunity at silverware the club before obviously your Carabao Cups, your FA Cups. But look, first season I'm not expecting anything except the Conference League Cup. That's it. If you don't achieve that, it's already a big flag on you. That's all I can say. Win the Europa Conference League, give players game time. Look, if you want to give the likes of Tyreek George, Ismail Samuel, Keanu Dyer, whatever, game time there, fine by all means. But we have to win. I don't care. Win the competition, and that's it. Because look, you have to give the players an understanding of what it is to win. That's the importance of it. No matter how how much of a joke people make the Conference League to be, it's still a trophy. We have to win it. West Ham won it. Aston Villa said, F that. We're going for Champions League spot and we got the Champions League spot. Personally, I think Aston Villa should won it, but they underestimated teams like Olympiacos. We cannot do that. We have to win the games. All right. I'm taking that as the only compulsory thing I want from you this season. Fans are saying they want top four. The director saying they want top four, top six. I say let them be. That's their expectation. For me, I understand you are just coming in. You're a new manager. You have not managed in the Premier League at all, just like Frank Lampard in the past. I mean, sure, I will give you the benefit of the doubt for these 1 to 2 seasons because I understand your style of play needs a couple of years to be implemented before we see the finalized, the actual product of your style of play. Yeah, so if anything, the directors will be targeted first. For me, I don't think you will be badly affected unless there are games which clearly shows that you lack the tactical familiarity or tactical nous to change your system and try to correct your mistakes. That I can't help you because there's on the pitch in the field tactics. That's up to you. If you can't do that, then we know that you are not really a guy that wants to change stuff. You're not a tactician. You're more of a guy that comes in, implements a philosophy. Fine. I mean, that's all on you. But for me, like I say, first 2 seasons you are free. The directors will get all the brunt of it because look, they are doubling down on you. It's not your fault that you're coming to Chelsea. Welcome to Chelsea. It's a crazy place to be. It's all about chaos here. Look forward to working with you, supporting you. Let's write stories together. Let's go and try win the European Conference League, maybe an FA Cup. If you can be lucky and exceed my expectations, you get top four, top six. I mean, we can build on that. Look, that's it. I really wish you all the best. Roberto Di Zerbi, thank you very much for giving me such a feeling that I wanted you, like the excitement of potentially having you again. But look, it's gone. You're going to United. I wish you nothing but the worst there. Enzo Maresca, come, let's write stories together, right? Let's have fun. Let's win and let's take Chelsea back up. All right. So that's pretty much it for today's episode, guys. Thank you all for paying attention and listening to the stream. Peace, boys.